Kickstart Your Business Summit 2026. This is awesome, guys. If you haven't already registered, make sure you go to the QR code at the top where you can register, because there are gifts, all kinds of amazing gifts. And there's even VIP gifts beyond that, but the gifts you get for free, you just register and get them. And then if you want VIP gifts, you can get the VIP gifts. And a lot of the speakers are giving away like time with them. Some of them have courses and trainings. Got a lot of 1-hour trainings and more in the VIP gifts, and people are buying them. I was actually just looking in the stats there, Josh, and people are lining up for it. So it's pretty awesome. Everybody's excited about those VIP gifts. So what are you liking the most out of the summit so far, Sheenay?
I like the playlist. I just like the back-to-back content, just with the different people, the different entrepreneurs explaining what they do and why they do it and how it's being done. I just love the step-by-step, and it's just like a snippet. I'm looking forward to hearing, more about it and more what they do and what they have to offer, as well as mine. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing more entrepreneurs pretty much explore and explain who they are and why they do what they do.
Awesome. I think it's a really different way that we're doing it this time. And we're going live on YouTube, or got one presentation after another. It's really cutting edge. I mean, nobody's doing summits this way. What do you think of the process, Joshua, as we're doing this in a whole new way?
Well, I'm very excited, Kerry. There's a lot of extra potential that comes out of recording the content, getting more people involved, growing the community. And in particular, I'm really excited about Joe's presentation there, and Mikkel, and for those of you who haven't had the time to meet Joe and Mikkel, you got to get in their circle, because these are some great guys. And I have the luxury of meeting with everybody in our community from start. I spend a lot of time with people in our community, invest that space for them, and these guys I know are just spectacular. And so I think a lot of our VIPs who are upgrading and getting that extra time with some of these fantastic speakers, I mean, it's really going to be worth their while. There's many things to enjoy, and I hope that the folks following along on YouTube are having a great time too. And I hope they see the potential in the community. Then this is, unusual for YouTube, I think, because there's not usually a lot of ways to get involved in a community. It's usually like a one-way path for messaging, but here we are. Here's the opportunity. Let's get involved.
Yeah, they can actually message us right here on the spot as we're going live. We'll see your message. We can respond right now if you're watching live, and later we will be checking on messages as well. So even if you're watching this 6 months from now, you will get a response if you are messaging on any of the videos that are going live on the YouTube channel. So that's true. That's a really great way to get community involvement. And it's really being done in a whole different way. The QR code that's up there right now is for register for the summit, but I'm going to actually switch it right now. And I'm going to change it to this one here. This is the playlist. So if you're just coming in right now and you're watching this, what are you talking about? What summit? Okay. They're all live on a playlist, and you can just hit the QR code and it'll take you directly to the playlist. Even if you're watching this months from now, and you'll be able to watch all the series of videos, which is a bunch of business owners, success gurus, all getting together, sharing their knowledge about how to kickstart your business. And of course, we're doing this at the beginning of 2026. So we want to kickstart your business for the year. But if you're watching this at some time in the future, you'll be able to kickstart your business from wherever you are at that time, which is very exciting. But, we promised you right now we were going to talk about kickstarting your networking. Okay. And because we run CIBN Connect, we do networking, and we do a lot of it every year, about 500 online meetings a year at CIBN Connect. And so, Joshua, what are you excited about this year in networking as we're doing things differently at CIBN this year?
There's just a lot to look forward to for 26. And, I'm of the mind that 26 is the year, right? And we always say that every year, but you know what? I think 26 really is the one. And really what I'm excited for is the ways that we keep working to serve our community, bring, the message and the attention to the right people. And I think that there's a lot of value there. And I think right now, we have got so much wonderful technology that helps empower us on this mission. So whether it's content creation or management, whether it's, the automations or the new platforms that we're doing outreach on. Like, all of these methods are designed to essentially serve our members, bring attention to them, and every year we just get better and better at promoting the people in our community whose voices really matter to us. So there's lots to look forward to, and we've got lots coming up in the pipeline here.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Sheenay the same question in a second, but as she's preparing herself with what she's excited about with networking this year, I am going to tell you I'm excited about many things. I'm calling this breakthrough year. 2026 is a year of breakthrough. And I'm really excited about the YouTube channel and how we can use it, not just to communicate with, the general public and people who may not know us, but also how we can serve our members with our YouTube channel. Many of our members have been trying to grow their own YouTube channels, and there's small followings, and, they're not, getting a lot of traction. I said, well, let's do it together, right? Let's just do it together, because together we could have, way more impact by working together than we can if we're just doing this individually. If each of us try to build a YouTube channel, then we all need a production team, and we all need, to, be putting out this continual, consistent content, and there's so many things we need. In fact, when we started to work on our YouTube channel and this year, I created a binder with 40 pages of what we need to do to get this YouTube channel really moving and shaking for our members. And January is our first year as we were starting to, first time we're really starting to kick this off. And already the views have been going up. Everything's going up. We've had a steady stream of new shorts coming out like every day since the beginning of January. Now we're doing the summit right here on the channel, and that means that our speakers for CIBN are being featured like every hour right now as we're going through the summit, but every day as we're going through forward now, our members, our speakers level members, are going to be featured over and over and over again on the YouTube channel, and I am just so jacked about that. Vicki James just joined us. Hey, Vicki. We're just talking about how we're doing networking differently this year. I'll call you into the conversation just a minute. I'm going to get Sheenay to just answer that question that I had just put out to her. What are you excited about with networking this year in 2026 at CIBN?
I'm excited about doing more with networking for myself from a personal perspective. I'm excited about not just looking for and building my business as far as clients, but building collaborations, building referral partners, just really putting myself out there in a way that could expose my business and just show what I have to offer and how I can offer help to other business owners, to really put out there, like, we can really work together and to grow together and build together. So I'm just really looking forward to all the different platforms that CIBN has to offer. And I'm just willing to put forward the effort and the work to do it and see the next level that we can take, not just with CIBN as a network, but all of us as entrepreneurs.
Yeah, absolutely. Vicki James just popped in. She's in Spain right now. She's one of our digital nomads out enjoying her life. Vicki, so what are you excited about this year, 2026, with networking?
Yeah, I always enjoy networking within this group, and especially when something that's different with CIBN than other networking is there's always a topic, a path and a purpose to the events that you go to, instead of just like, what are we going to talk about? And then also, so often there's a small educational component that always helps me learn something to be a better networker, to, get more sales, to collaborate, and all of that. So I always appreciate just getting the perspective, not only from CIBN, the Kerry and Josh, but all the members as well, because there's a wealth of experience in the rooms.
Yeah, absolutely. We are thrilled right now. By the way, your talk is coming up next in half an hour. Okay. Your talk is going to go live, Vicki. So that's going to be awesome. And I know, can you tell us just quickly what you're going to be talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about when you're launching a business, to find your why. Because when we understand our purpose and our values in building a business, we can build a business that aligns instead of something that maybe won't feel so great and that we could potentially become resentful of. And so, really walking through like, okay, what is your why? And there's a couple exercises in there to help you find that so that you can make sure you're building what really makes sense for you. Or maybe you're at a crossroads with your current business. This applies there as well. It's really just really digging into why are we doing this in the first place? Because I know from experience, it's so easy to get going down the path and then you're doing things that just really don't feel right. It's like, oh, I forgot to look into my purpose for this business and to make sure that every action and every decision aligns to that purpose. So, yeah, that's what we'll be talking about.
Wonderful. So, yeah, that's coming up next. And guys, if you're wondering how do I find what's coming up next, the QR code at the top is right now featuring the playlist. So you can just quickly click that and it'll take you to the playlist, even if you're watching this later. So that will work. But we did promise everybody we were going to give them some networking tips, Joshua. So let's think about our favorite networking tips. And we'll start with some basic ones, and then we'll maybe go into some futuristic ones for 2026. Stretch our viewers' imaginations a little bit. So one of my favorites, all-time favorite at CIBN Connect, in fact, most of the members can repeat after me. You know what I'm going to say. Book a meeting from the meeting. And I'm always telling everybody, book a meeting from the meeting. Really be ready to book that meeting. So at every time. So, I mean, if you're going into the networking meeting, that's a good time to be saying, hey, this is why I would like to get together with you. Let's book a meeting now, and put that calendar link up and get them booking, even in online. When I'm out in person, I do exactly the same thing. If I'm in a networking event where we're handing out business cards, I'm not just handing out business cards. I'm actually reading the business card and going, oh, this is someone I could do business with. Hey, do you want to get together? Why don't we make an appointment right now for Thursday at 1, or would Friday at 2 be better? And I book them right there on the spot. And my record is 34 meetings booked from one meeting. So I really, really believe in this. And I believe in it at every level. Even if you're doing a one-on-one, you book the next meeting. If you're doing a sales presentation, you book the follow-up. You just book the meeting from the meeting at every meeting. Joshua, what do you got for us? What's your hot tip of the day for networking? What do they need to know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in that same avenue, give people easy ways to say yes. You know, it's if I had a nickel for every time I heard somebody say, hey, book a meeting with me so I can show you my product and you can decide if you want to buy it. That's not networking. And that's really difficult to say yes to, right? But when your ask is book a meeting with me and let's network, let's get to know each other, it's easier to say yes to. When your ask is, hey, I'm looking for collaborators, let's talk about our communities and then see if we can trade some referrals. It's a lot easier to say yes to, right? But the idea essentially is to make the path of progress a little easier to walk, right? And sometimes we put our own barriers in there and it's self-defeating for networking, right? We got to think about what is the purpose, right? How do we get to our success here? And be mindful of ways we can make that whole process smoother. So that would be my insight there.
Awesome. Sheenay, what about you? What are your thoughts on networking? What's one hot tip you can give everybody to make their networking more successful?
Be consistent. Be consistent with showing up, and the more you do it, I feel like it's also a practice too for those who are shy about it, because I was one of those introvert type of people who wouldn't speak up and didn't want to say much, but just continuing to attend is what gave me the confidence to build up, to be more out there, to say what I needed to say, and to meet more people. So being consistent, constantly showing up, it does pay off over time. Be patient with the process, trust the process. It does work. You do meet a lot of interesting people. And it's just sometimes it's not just professional, it's personal as well. So I like the networking, and I feel like it's been perfect timing for when I joined, and I just continue to grow from it.
Awesome. I love that. Consistency is so powerful and so important in so many things, in all kinds of marketing, really. It is important. So of course it would be with networking as well. The more you get out there and show up, and I often talk about becoming an influencer at CIBN and what the path is, the networking path to get to become that influencer. And I would agree that consistency is definitely one of the main things. You don't become an influencer overnight. It's step by step by step, and doing these things over and over and over again. And as you put yourself out there and increase your social media presence and increase what you're posting, and then you're adding that to when you're going to the network, because you're inviting people that you're networking with to look at that, and then you're inviting people online to come and network with you. It's just going round and round in a reciprocal kind of manner. And it's just driving more and more people to you. And it does work, and we're success stories of that. I mean, Joshua has gotten a great online presence in the last couple of years. Sheenay, have you seen your presence grow in the last couple of years since you've been around CIBN?
Oh yes, definitely. I definitely have seen a lot of progress with LinkedIn, with just seeing how many people actually view what I post and have something to say, or even do the liking or commenting. So it definitely has increased, and I know that it's going to continue to, the more that I'm consistent in actually doing so with posting.
Yeah, love it. I just see that there is. I was just looking up here. Oh, there we go. See that? Joe is following along online. He says 2026 is the year of more connections, stronger referrals, and meaningful friendships. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining in with us, Joe. You know what? This is the year that we're going to see significant change in the way that we're doing things. Okay, even at CIBN, but I think in the world things are changing as well. And, what are some of the things that you see coming up as a real impact in the world in 2026 in the realm of networking, in the realm of, doing business? What are some of those things, Joshua?
Well, you know what? I think we're about to be in a position where the technical leg for networking is about to be fixed a bit. It's been the situation that the tools that are designed explicitly for networking are kind of far and few between. And I think one of the big benefits of essentially technology becoming a lot more accessible to most people is that we're going to see a diversification in the types of softwares and such that are being designed to help. And so just, in my personal circle, I have a handful of people who are working on specific softwares to make the process of networking simpler, more effective, right? And of course, we've got our current tool stack, but the networking world, I think, has been neglected a little too long from this technology point of view. So I'm excited to see how that develops even further this year.
I love what you're saying there. Joshua and I did a great video on YouTube a little while back about the history of networking and how it came out of like the Middle Ages. And how for a long time we just kept doing this, one person per industry at a seat around a table for lunch because, that's what we knew, right? And over the years, we have added so many cool components to the networking realm. I mean, we started by adding LinkedIn, teaching our members how to use it and how to use it in networking. Like 2012, 2013, we were doing that. We were training people on that. But today, moving forward, there's so many things like all the technology advancements that can be used to enhance the networking experience, and to bring people together collectively in new ways. I mean, we use meetin.com, okay? Meetin, instead of Zoom. We've moved on from Zoom. You Zoomers, Zoom off. We're in Meetin now. Meetin is amazing. Okay. It's one of those things that, we have found has changed our business because it allows us to put up the links and stuff and they pop right up on the page and people can click the button and there's pictures in motion and it's amazing. So, I mean, that's just one of the things that we've added, in the last year or two that has made networking at CIBN different. Sheenay, what are you thinking about for like how is networking changing and transpiring over the next year or two to you?
For me, I can see it growing. Definitely, I can see me growing connections and as well as the clientele. So I could just see it being definitely an advocate for me and working out in my best interest, because I think the more you network, the more people you'll meet. And they may not be the clients, but they may be the people who know the clients that you need, you know. So I'm just looking to just grow my horizons as far as my thought process, as well as my business, as well as the people that I network with and meet. This is the year of expansion. So that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I love that year of expansion. Let's move and shake and get some expansion going. Vicki, we're just talking about how networking is changing and stuff that we're adding and stuff that we see being used in the future of networking. What do you think about, you know, where things are at and what's coming with networking?
And I heard Sheenay talk about, you know, consistency in showing up. And I do think that that's so important. And I love the variety of opportunities within the CIBN network, but, you know, and I'm always looking a little bit outside too, but CIBN is definitely the home base. And, you know, it's always evolving. So, you know, we're talking, you know, the smart networking that was Thursday afternoon. It's like, let's make this more e-commerce focused and let's help actually put more tools in the hands of our members to build stronger businesses. And so I look forward to every evolution, because most of the time those evolutions are based on things that, you know, you've heard that members need or want and really help us, you know, get to the next level. So to be able to grow right along with CIBN is a great opportunity.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad that you mentioned that. I'm going to change the QR code up here right now. This is for the CIBN events page. So we have events that are going on every week. And this week during the summit, we're really focusing on two this week. If you ladies jump on into the women's positively networking group on Tuesday, if you go to the QR code, you'll see the event page. You know, register yourself, jump on in there and come and meet a whole bunch of women that want to network with you. And on Thursday, we're going to have the smart networking. And that's what Vicki was just mentioning there. Joshua runs smart networking on Thursdays, 2:00 Mountain Time, 4:00 Eastern. You know, grab a spot in there, get yourself registered so it's in your calendar, and then you can join us. And even if you're watching this like months from now, those links, that QR code will take you to that page where you can be networking with people this week, you know, whenever this week is. So yeah, so these are some of the things, you know, and I just wanted to mention too, some of the things that I have seen different in networking and I think are really going to, you know, take the, I'm just trying to move my screen around here. Okay. Some of the things that I've seen in networking that I think that are going to really affect us in the future, of course, is AI. AI is one of those things. We have been working with teams to create particular uses for AI at CIBN Connect and also to help our members with it. We already have a Chrome extension that uses AI. We have a variety of other tools that use AI, but now we're looking at putting bots and things on the website, stuff that will talk to you like Kerry George, even though Kerry George might not be available right now. You know, so there's ways of using it. And of course, we want to be able to continue to use those things, you know, in the future as well. So where do you see AI taking us in networking, Joshua?
You know, there's a lot of real opportunity in the integration of AI to business networking spaces. I mean, one, just our LinkedIn extension, having the AI assisted matchmaking tool, that's phenomenal. I think one of the biggest problems with networking is you've joined, now what? You know, accessing the greater community, identifying who has the, you know, connections that you're looking for. And, you know, the old tried and true method is meet with a lot of people and ask, right? But I love tools that make that process simpler. So you can use the extension and say, this is what I'm looking for. And it points out who has your connections. And then you know where you need to be networking towards, right? I think we're going to see a lot of stuff like that. In fact, I'd like to see our contact management system enriched with some kind of matchmaking process like that. That's something I've been kind of feeling out here with some folks who have got in my expert pool. And, you know, the other thing too is one of the biggest issues we see in networking is we have a lot of people we're promising our time to. And so just simple integrations like AI assistants, right? AI email managers, things like this can make it so that we are able to cut through the noise a bit and really be in the time and the place that we need to be in. right? So we
Right.
can, manage those requests from people a little bit more successfully and be better and show up for our communities in more meaningful ways. So lots to
Yeah.
look forward to.
I know that Vicky, you've been using AI in your business and adding some components to your business with AI. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So I actually had a really great win with AI today. And part of it is because I have Claude connected to HubSpot for my CRM, and it can actually go mine data out there. Plus I use Claude for a lot of like follow-up and stuff. So this morning I remembered it's like somebody had an offer for me that I wanted to try. And now that I'm getting ready to launch something new, I need to take her up on it. And I couldn't remember who. But I was able to ask Claude, I remember somebody offered me this. Go check my HubSpot, go check our conversations and see if you can figure out who it is. Figured it out in like 30 seconds. So now I know who to follow up with so I can take advantage of this offer. But
I
what I
love that.
wanted
I've been using like Gemini inside of the G Suite to do stuff like that, to just ask it, like, I'd be like, who was it that said this? When was that? And up it comes, and it's got the messaging and even summarizes for you. So
Right.
there is a lot of ways that we're taking shortcuts today with the AI.
Yeah, and I've just started playing with Gemini and finding that same advantage since I do use Google Suite for at least my personal communications. But yeah, just realizing that it has a lot of capacity to take in a lot of your information, the previous conversations you've had, any integrations you have, like I have the integration to both HubSpot and my calendar with Claude, and to leverage those opportunities.
Absolutely. And I'm seeing that, in networking, we're meeting people all the time. And the more you go out networking, the higher number of people you're meeting. And it's difficult sometimes to remember them all. So the customer retention management system is important. Your personal email is important. Using tools now like Gemini and things like that, that's important. It helps bring all that together for you quickly. Because really networking is like a funnel. It's the top of the funnel. You go meet these people, but then you got to go and work down in your networking and sort out which ones are actually going to be potential customers, which ones could potentially be those that are going to give you referrals, and who amongst this is, has the same, target market as you, and they could actually give you a lot of referrals if you got to know them better, if they got to trust you, So, and that's something I always like to talk about at networking, is the know, like, and trust factor. We have many conversations about that. And I always say, when you go out networking, lots of times people don't get to know you or trust you. They only get to the like part. They meet you at the meeting and they go, hey, Vicky, I like you. But
Right.
Nobody likes somebody well enough to give them a lead to that client that they have that paid them $25,000. They have to know you and they have to trust you. And that takes more time in relationship building. Joshua, do you want to weigh in on how to build those relationships with people so that they're getting to that trust, part, and not just to the liking? I mean, it's nice to be liked, but it doesn't actually, help us get to the next stage. If you want to unmute yourself and share on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, building trust online is something I spend a lot of time thinking about, and it's very important. And I think we are especially suited to it having the organization that we have, right? I think every business owner, whether you're networking in person or online, this is something you got to pay attention to, because it does help having this kind of thing ironed out. And so the process of building trust online is, similar to in person. I mean, it starts with time. It takes time to earn trust. It really does. And on that simple note, if you have the very simple practice of wait until you've known someone for at least a few weeks before you offer them your services or a referral meeting or something like that, then you'll find that modest investment in time will get you a greater return on your investment there, right? But the other thing is creating a holistic brand, right, or brand identity, right? When you're networking, and especially when you're networking online, being accessible on multiple platforms, having, 2 or 3 that you're working on that are representing you well, this makes you a lot of progress in earning trust, right? Just by familiarity and proximity. And so if you're wanting to get more from your networking experience, you want to invest in these platforms, right? Are we friends? On Instagram and Facebook, right? Do we see each other there? Are we, building trust passively? by, maintaining mutual space. That's kind of the biggest component of trust, is how much time do we spend in proximity? Have you made it easier to spend that time together, right? Simple little things like that can go a long ways. And the other thing, and this is so important, one of the reasons that networking works so well is we leverage community effects here, right? So we earn trust quickly when the folks around us trust us, and new folks enter that space, and they are able to, piggyback the existing trust that we've earned, right? So building your business within the context of a community earns you trust faster because it's mutually reinforcing among the people who have already given you their trust, right? It's much easier to say, oh, Josh has all these people that seem to trust him, so why don't I give him a shot, right? Versus, going into a new space every week, and I know Sheenay mentioned this earlier about consistency, right? Going into a new space where you're always a stranger, right? Bringing people into a space where you don't have that trust. At CIBN, the idea is we want you to have a space where you can have a community, build your own community, be a part of it, right? As a leader. And it's deliberately designed that way to get you trust, right? We want you to leverage that opportunity, right? So there's lots you can do, Kerry, and unless you want this to become the Josh Talks for way too long show, you better cut me off here.
Yeah, you know what? When we're talking about trust, which we often do at CIBN, one of the things I encourage people to do is have more than one meeting with somebody. Nobody's getting to trust you with one meeting. They're like, oh, I had a one-on-one with that person, and they said they would give me a referral. And my question is, did they? Is that happening like anywhere, really? I mean, you get one here or one there, but it doesn't really add up to enough like that. Where the difference lies is in the time that we spend with someone. So if I have more than one-on-one with one-on-one, I got all those ones in there. It's going to go deeper, so we're going to have, and I love that, Vicki, your talk today, which is coming up in just a few minutes, about the why. I love that, because that's one of the things I tell people. If you really want to get to know somebody more, is go talk about your why. How have you found that in business as you've been meeting with people? Has talking about your why been helpful to get them to know you and trust you better?
Oh, definitely, because then they can see the motivation for the business is truly to help the solopreneur. Like when I wanted to launch a business, it was like, how can I use my skills to help somebody who had a different path and doesn't have the same experience and learning as me? And that's what it's really all about for me. And so, it comes across in my messaging because I have thought long and hard about it. I have thought about how do I shape my business? You both know I made a little bit of a pivot late last year because I realized my heart's desire was really in this level of support. So I still have the same offers. I just kind of reprioritize what I talk about so that I can help more people in more ways.
Yeah. And Vicki does bookkeeping and financial services. She helps people with their strategy on their finances for their business. And so this is really interesting because your topic today isn't about bookkeeping. It's not about financial stuff. It's about the why, and how important that is, because we don't know ourselves well enough to actually explain to a stranger who we are and what's important to us if we haven't drilled down into what our why is. You know?
And I have clients where they tell me about an opportunity they have, and it doesn't really align with what they're excited about. And so we're able to kind of talk through that. And when they come back and say, oh yeah, that was dumb, I need to not do that. It's like, So yeah, really understanding. And and especially a lot of the people I talk to are coming out of corporate America or going through maybe some financial transitions that are challenging. But, it's keeping the eye on the ball for the long game, because yes, I could stack up some revenue doing things I don't love to do, but then I'm not building a business. I'm building a job that I'm going to resent. It's just that I own it. So being real careful about our intention.
I love the why. I love the vision, talking about vision. oftentimes when we're running networking meetings, we don't just have people say, hey, this is what I am and this is what I do and this is how to contact me. Because we're trying to drill down and get those relationships growing, we'll say, okay, so now what's your why? And we'll have them go around in small rooms, in group settings, saying what their why is so they can get to know each other better. And I think that has been huge. I know in many summits we've done in the past, that has been a huge thing. And we will do more of them going back into using meetin.com and stuff like that. But today we wanted to try out YouTube and see what it's like to talk to the greater community. So this is kind of fun, and it's neat to see all of your comments and stuff in the chat too. Joshua, what are you excited about now coming up in 2026? What can we give them a hint of something that's coming?
Yeah, well, I mean, the field of focus for me this year is communication streams. And, we've got a really wonderful opportunity to leverage our existing resources and marketing, whether it's Meetup or LinkedIn or et cetera, right? To leverage these resources to highlight our members, right? And so right now I'm working with 3 of our members to sit down and do video interviews. And these guys have got phenomenal stories. And I think the job of CIBN is to help them not only tell that story, right? And but also help it reach more eyeballs, right? More ears. And I think it's a phenomenal thing. What an opportunity we all have together to take advantage of and to promote each other, in really meaningful ways. And, we make it a lot easier for our members by having a lot of the legwork figured out already, right? People start going, oh, I want to make video content, what software, what editing, what this, what that. Well, we have it all. So, we're happy to share those resources. We want people to look their best. And if I got to personally edit all these videos myself, well, you know what? It's about time. We're gonna get it done. We do have an editor too, but we've got lots of resources. I'm just excited to share them.
Yeah, actually, doing this YouTube thing, we really put our editor to work. Francois, my husband, is the video editor and does a lot of the back-end work at CIBN. And we worked him hard as we were putting this summit together because we did a lot of the videos were done in advance and had to be a little bit edited, clipped out and stuff like that. So, we should say a great big thank you of appreciation to him. And, let people know that, it's not just us. There's a whole team of people working behind the scenes here to make CIBN the empire that it is. And it's just growing. And we're so excited about the future. There's so much coming. I've been working on the 50-year plan. So if anyone's worried about buying a lifetime membership, there's no need to worry. We've had them here for 15 years already, people who got that. And we're going to move right on into the future. And I believe just like my business is now myself, my son, my husband, we're working on the next generation. I'm already talking to my grandson. So this will just keep going and going and growing as time goes on. And tech is going to come. Tech is going to go. There's going to be new stuff all the time, and we're going to be right on the cutting edge of that. And the reason for that is our members bring us the best stuff. They really do. I mean, that's how we found meetin.com. That's how we have found the extension and all of these. Well, you know what? I think this means our next video is about to go live. I'm hearing some music playing in the background. You guys hear that? All right. So that means Vicky's video is about to go live. But right now, so we don't want to miss that. Let's get ready to jump on with her. And thanks for coming out and meet with us. Guys, check out the QR codes at the top. They will take you to all of the good things, whether it's our events page at cibnconnect.com or to register for the summit to get all the gifts. You guys are going to want to hang on for the ride. We got so much more coming for you today. Keep on watching. 3 days of events here happening at CIBN on YouTube. Are you guys excited? Okay, let's do 1, 2, 3. And how do we end our meeting?
Happy capitalism.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Happy capitalism.
All right. We'll see you on the next video.